My name is Christopher Doyle. I'm the creative director and founder of Christopher Doyle Co. The thing I am most optimistic about now is the team of designers that I work with. So I have travelled to India and left behind a team of people doing work that I should probably be there doing as well. And I have already seen some of that work and it's amazing. And I'm optimistic and I guess proud of the people that I work with. Well, sort of 20, 30 years ago, logos were very, very important, right? They were the cornerstone of a brand identity, cornerstone of a company's identity. I think then it went through a really interesting phase where logos and identities started to get flexible and they started to change. They started to have lots of variations and different colors and all these kind of different formats. And then really with the kind of, with the rise of apps and digital brands, we kind of all the way went back to that kind of logo being the kind of cornerstone or the foundation thing as well. So I think it's kind of come full circle, but I think now, really, I think it's personality and ethos and story that are at the heart of brands. I think that really, if you think about the brands that people kind of love and hold very dear and they're very passionate about and loyal to, they would say they love the logos. They would say they look at that, but really that's just a visual trigger for all the things that they love about the brand. You know what I mean? So if the Airbnb logo actually wasn't that logo, the success of that company would still be there. You know, I'm not saying it's not important. It's a well-designed brand, all that kind of stuff, but it's not. A logo can't fix or build a story. Usually I really like people to, as I said, have an access point, like be able to at least find a way into the work so they can start to decode it. I think that's probably the most abstract thing we've ever done, because really you could look at it and if no one understands what those letters are, then they wouldn't see it. And as I said, half the people just said it looks like a map of Australia, which wasn't even what it was meant to be. But yeah, that's about as abstract as we kind of go. I'm probably to my detriment, I'm a big fan of making the work accessible, you know, and sometimes it's a lot, sometimes it's only a little bit. And I think for them, you have a situation where the audience is quite niche, right? You're talking to designers, you're talking to people who are like designers, so you could be a little bit kind of abstract with it. You're not talking to the public, basically. You know, you're talking about design to designers, so it's very kind of narrow. You can't change the type, you can't change the colors, you can't change what the brand looks like, right? So they kind of come, which is different for us because that's generally what we do, is we make brands, we create brands, but they come to us and say, we've got a typeface, we've got logos, we've got colors, these are all the things you can use. So it actually becomes just an exercise in copywriting. So it became an exercise in kind of communication and writing ads, and that's what made it difficult, because you have to kind of figure out what do they sound like as a company? You know, what does Spotify sound like? And you have to kind of then get into that mindset and start to write like they speak. So it was challenging in that sense. But I think for them it was actually, that campaign actually was that we found out a few weeks ago has been their most successful Australian campaign to date. So Spotify in Australia hasn't had a huge amount of advertising. You know, they get a lot of global advertising, American advertising. They do bits and pieces of kind of digital advertising, but it hasn't ever been, I think at the moment there's more and more and more. And which is great for us. It's a great brand to work on. They're super nice and yeah, it's good. Yeah, I think it would be brave. I think I think clients aren't brave enough. I think a lot of clients worry about what people are going to think instead of worrying about letting them think new things and experiencing new things.